Ciao a tutti and welcome to Venice Talks, a podcast series dedicated to Venice in Italy. I'm your host, Monica Cesarato, a Venetian food and travel blogger. Join me as I share my insider knowledge to help you explore Venice at 360 degrees. In this weekly podcast, we'll dive into the heart of a city, uncovering hidden stories and connecting with the people who make Venice unique. The artisans, the writers, the fashion designers, the bloggers, the journalists, and more. Let's break free from cliché and discover the true essence of Venice, not just the monuments, but the vibrant people, the Venetians. Experience Venice the right sustainable way. You can find me on my blog at www.monicacesarato.com and across all social media platforms. Enjoy the episode and let's journey through Venice together. Welcome back to Venice Talks, Season 4, Episode 7. Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Venice Talks. Today I'm very happy because I finally, after a long time, managed to convince to come on the show Joan Giacomin, who is the brand ambassador of the Merchant of Venice. Ciao Joan, how are you?
Ciao Monica, very well, thank you. It's spring, so I'm happy.
I know, it's not very nice outside, but it's not cold, I got to say.
Not cold.
Exactly. Yes. Okay, Joan, first of all, tell us who you are and what's your role as a brand ambassador for the Merchant of Venice.
Yes, first of all, I'm Venetian. Mm-hmm. I'm a makeup artist for movie set, etc. I'm a writer and I am a perfumer. Okay. My passion have always been colors, beauty, perfume, history, and Venice. So today, my passion are also my job.
That's isn't it? They always say that you never really working when you're actually doing what you like, or something similar.
Yeah, you will be tired but happy.
Yeah. When did you start working for the Merchant of Venice?
In 2022.
Okay.
I became the brand ambassador of the Merchant of Venice, but I almost hold the workshop, the perfume workshop at the Libreria Studio, the beautiful international Libreria next to San Marco Square.
Yep.
And in this bookshop, we have a beautiful perfume room with a library all about perfume and beauty, and an organum. Organum is a collection of raw material for perfumery. We have more than 120 raw materials, so it's very precious. Yes.
Oh. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Because I keep mentioning the Merchant of Venice, the Merchant of Venice. Can we explain a little bit who the Merchant of Venice is? Because obviously everybody goes, oh, well, we know Shakespeare, but it's not actually. It's not.
Venice is a perfume house. He produces beautiful perfume, but with a special idea to maintain in Venice the tradition of the ancient perfumery and the ancient perfume art. So all the perfume are something that combine modern perfumery and the ancient raw materials, the ancient idea of a perfumery in Venice. Yes.
Okay.
And at the Libreria, I had these workshops. They are historical and sensorial experience. That's the same idea of our perfume, to make something that we can call olfactive culture in some way. Yeah. And we have, during my workshop, the participants have a lot of smelling of different raw material. I tell them a lot of story about the history of perfume in Venice and in the past.
Because people don't actually realize the importance of Venice in the history of perfume, don't they?
After my workshop, yes.
Oh yeah, of course. After your workshop, I learned everything about it thanks to you. And I keep saying, when people say to me, oh, perfumes in Venice, I say, oh my God, Don't you know? And then I go and tell them everything you tell me. So,
because
let's explain the importance, because people obviously associate to perfume to France.
yes,
But
and
actually,
it's correct in some way.
later, though, before there was
But
Venice.
before there was Venice. Without Venice, the world of perfumery that we know today couldn't be the same.
Exactly.
Because Venice was the door to East and to Far East. And in Venice, in the past, arrived all the very precious raw materials to make perfumes. You know, all the resin, all the spices. In Europe, we didn't have all this variety of ingredient. So that for this reason, it was really, really important.
Of course, because Venice, of course, had the monopoly of the Adriatic, so they had the control of the trade of the wine, of the spices, of the silks, but of course, as you say, of all the raisins and so on. But
Of a lot of things, yes,
yeah,
and also part legend and part reality,
okay,
because it's a reality that Venice had a lot of mm, reports, relationship with the Byzantium Empire. But
the
the
Eastern
Doge
part,
Domenico Selva
yeah.
married the daughter of the Emperor of Byzantium. And she brought to Venice a lot of new things, a lot
Ah,
of extravagant things. For example, the fork
yes.
that for the first time arrived in Venice, in Europe, because it was something of the Oriental Empire. And also, and the name for the fork, in Venetian dialect is Piron. The
Piron.
same that the Byzantium
From
word.
impirare, that means
Yes,
to thread. Yeah, like
yes.
impiraresse is the
The
same. The
Empire
word impiraresse comes
first.
from Piron. Yeah.
Yes,
Of
yes.
course.
And she brought also all fragrances, beauty product, everything. At first, we were in the Middle Age, so it was a scandal.
Yeah, of
She,
course.
she died young, and people said she died young because she used the perfume.
Okay.
A hard word in the past. But we women, we are smarter than that.
Haha.
We understood the power of perfume, and that was the start of the perfumery in Venice.
What kind of materials arrived? Because I know I did a class with you twice already, and I'm gonna do a third one now because I'm so happy
Yes,
about it. Okay,
I'm
so I'm
waiting
gonna
for
come out.
you.
I'm gonna become a perfume maker pretty soon.
Yes,
No,
maybe.
I went, nah, no, because I lost my nose anyway, so I can't. But never
Yes.
mind. What kind of materials arrived from Venice, and what kind of materials we don't find anymore as well, which used to arrive from Venice?
Okay. The first raw material that arrived were spices. Nutmeg, cinnamon, clove buds, or the spices. And they arrived in Europe through Venice for the first time. You know that Marco Polo brought a lot of raw material in Venice, but also he made some that is culture, information about perfume, because he told us the origin of the different spices and different raw materials. Because in the past, resin, spices, and other ingredient have had a mysterious origin.
Yeah, of course.
For example,
They didn't have internet, so they didn't have the opportunity to go and check if a story was fake news or real, did they?
yes, for example, about he tell us the real origin of the cinnamon. That, people had mysterious legends about the origin of the ingredient, and also he brought in Venice the animalic raw materials. In the ancient perfumery, the raw ingredient from animals were really, really important because they have sometimes a marvelous scent, but always they were fixative. That means that with the fixative, a perfume lasts longer. Today, all the fixative are synthetic origin, but in the
Okay.
past they are from animal.
Okay.
And for example, in Venice, the profession of a perfumer was called muschiere,
Okay.
because muschiere from muschio, animal musk. Animal
Okay.
musk is a raw material. Today, luckily, is illegal
Of course.
because it's the contrary of cruelty-free.
Of course.
Obtained from a gland of a little deer that
Okay.
lives in Tibet.
Okay.
And it was really, really precious. So precious that important family in Venice maybe have in the heritage some musk glands. You know, the price is
Right. Yeah, yeah,
higher
of course.
than gold. Yes.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. And I got to say, I mean, you during one of your classes, you got me to smell some weird stuff.
Yes.
That's how I can describe it, weird. But for what we for the customs of today, for what we use today. But there were some smells that back in the past they were so famous, so important that if you use them now, I'll say, I'm not so sure people will come near to you.
Yes. I think you're referring to the civet.
Yes.
Civet is
Yeah.
another raw material that today is legal. We can use that because it's not cruelty free in some way,
Okay.
not completely.
Well, let's say kind of, because they still got to stay in a cage, doesn't it? But okay, all right.
A little animal similar to a cat, and
Okay.
in the past was considered the most sensual scent in the world.
Okay.
Because in the past we are human beings, but also we are animals.
Mm-hmm.
In the past, with the lack of hygiene of cleaning, uh, we are more used to the
Mm.
smell, to the
Mm-hmm.
body odors of other people, and
Mm.
in some way, people liked them.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
They can appreciate them. So a very strong animalic smell is in any case is strong and
Mm.
precious
Mm.
and expensive.
Yeah.
So
So
today we want to smell like soap, but
yes, it's true. It's true.
not in the past. And
So
about soap, I don't know if you know that without Venice, even soap
oh
would be
oh
different.
no. Okay, that I didn't know. That you haven't told me during your classes. Okay, go
Oh,
on. Tell me this little information. Go on.
because another profession in Venice, we have a different profession about
Yeah.
beauty and perfume.
Yeah.
One was the muschiere, the perfumer, or another was the speziere, spezie, spices, the
Mm-hmm.
spice seller, and another one was a saoner.
Okay.
Saon in Venetian is the soap.
Soap. Mm-hmm.
And the merchant of Venice, they went to Syria
Mm-hmm.
and they saw for the first time the first vegetable soap, the
Uh-huh.
Aleppo soap. I don't know if you know Aleppo soap. I'm sure you have seen it in the organic
Mm-hmm.
shops. It's
Yeah.
a square brown
Mm-hmm.
soap, a
Mm-hmm.
little rough soap. You have an idea?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And they uh, copied the recipe and
Okay.
brought them in Venice. And they saw that it is brown, the color of the soap, and brown is not a good color to sell
No,
a soap.
of course.
So, and the color is due the fact that the soap is dried and is based on olive oil and bay leaves and
Uh-huh.
is dried under the sun.
Okay.
Venetian man understood that it's better to make the soap dry in the shadow. They
Uh-huh.
added a lot of perfume and they created the Bianco di Venezia, White of Venice, the
Wow.
first soap in Europe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know about this one. Oh my God.
After Serenissima fall and the production went to Bologna, to
Mm-hmm.
Genoa, and in the end to Marseille. And in Marseille, in
Ah,
France,
the famous
very
soap of
clever
Marseille
French people,
with
they
lavender.
created the Marseille soap, the
With
soap that
lavender,
you know.
yes, with
But from
lavender.
Syria to Marseille, it would
It
be
was first in
possible
Venice.
without Venice.
Ah,
So,
wow. So, Joanne, in historic Venice, who actually used perfume? what did it represent in the daily life? Because we kind of understand that they weren't that clean, or at least they weren't as clean as we tend to be now. Okay, so who actually used the perfume? When? Why?
The cleaning process was impossible at the time, not only because people believed that water could be dangerous for the health,
Well,
but
it was in a
also
way because they didn't have a central heating. The water, it took time to warm up, so it was
yes,
easy to get
exactly.
pneumonia, bronchitis, and stuff like that in those days. So I get it.
Yeah, also because the dress
Mm,
were made with really precious velvet,
mm,
silk, everything, and it was impossible to wash them really well.
mhm.
So people didn't wash their
Okay.
dress. So what they did, they perfume everything. They scent
Okay.
everything. And in ancient time, not only in Venice but everywhere, perfume was only very rich and powerful people could afford to use perfume.
Of course, because it costed a lot of money,
A
of
lot
course.
of
So
money.
yeah.
But in Venice, because as I told you, we arrived in Venice, arrived a lot of raw materials, there are more quantity available. So
Mm-hmm.
more people could afford to have some perfume with them in some way.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's something a better situation to be
Okay.
scented. But in any case, perfume was a status symbol,
Of
and
course.
people used the perfume to show their richness and their power.
Mm-hmm.
But not only because we women, we use perfume really to seduce. Not
Okay.
only as today, but
Uh-huh.
in all the situation because a Venetian lady had not didn't have a lot of um, freedom to go in
Mm-hmm.
social situation or something like this. So the party, the ceremony in a big palace, very dark, candlelit, was
Mm-hmm.
a big occasion to find the right husband.
Okay.
In the
Then
past.
I had the mask on the face, so they didn't see it. So what actually sold you was a
Your
beautiful,
scent,
yeah,
yes.
the scent. Yeah, yeah, of course.
You
Yeah.
can see the extravagant hairstyle, the wig,
Mm-hmm.
a very big and beautiful dress, a little on the face, but covered with the mask or with a
Mm-hmm.
lot of makeup.
Yes.
But
Yes.
your scent could tell a lot about you.
Mm.
Who are you? How seducing you could be. So it was very important to have the same thing that we do today with the personalized fragrance. Each
Mm-hmm.
lady wanted a perfume that is her olfactive portrait.
Mm-hmm.
So that was
They
a
had
really,
their own personal blends, their own personal, what do you call
yes.
it, done for them. So, and this is a time also that all the sachet from Venice became quite famous. Did they? Was that kind of cured all the diseases with all the different spices and smells? Right? What's it called? I cannot remember the name. Help me,
La
Joan.
teriyaka, the
Yeah,
teriyaka.
that's the one. Yes,
Yes,
because it
yes.
was considered even and it was a perfume in a way, wasn't it? Because it was
Yes,
a
yes,
sachet
there's a lot of
with
perfume.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
the perfume in the past, not only in Venice, but in the past, was not only a pleasure, but maybe sometime, first of all, it was a medicine, a
Mm,
magic potion, a love potion, something with a lot of power. People believed in the power of nature, of the ingredient. And so teriyaka, that was really, really famous in Venice. You know that in Campo Santo Stefano, you have
mm-hmm,
the print of
mm-hmm.
the contenitore
Container.
container for the teriyaka, because
Uh-huh.
the teriyaka was prepared in front of all people to to show that it was really an antidote
Mm,
for everything. In reality, there is a lot of scented ingredient inside, but teriyaka worked because inside they put opium, you know.
ah, okay. Which
So
would be a bit hard to reproduce nowadays, wouldn't it?
That's impossible, because if you suffer from some illness and
Yeah.
drug is like,
So how many, do we know how many spices and herbs and stuff were contained in the teriyaki or no?
Teriyaki, a lot, even 200-300, but it depends on
Wow.
the secret recipe of each
Ah,
teriyaki
so it changed according
producer.
to the
Yes, they
particular.
are a little different, each one. Yes.
Ah, right. That's why you had more expensive one and the most
And people
researched for.
believe in that, but also they believe that, for example, another animal raw material,
Hmm.
the ambergris, that
Hmm.
is from a whale.
Yes.
And
Which is, I got to say, amongst the stories that you told us during the last workshop you did, I was the one that was like, okay. I
okay,
really liked it. I thought, okay, if we really know what that is, I'm not so sure people will
you know, so
want.
that the reason, because today we don't use ambergris because it's an animalic raw material,
Yeah, yeah.
cruelty free, but is we perfumer call it the split of a whale, you know.
Mhm. That's a nice way to put it.
Yes. But you know that the smell is very, very good.
Yes, no, that I got to agree. It was incredible that
And people believe that in the magic power of the ambergris, so that all the resin, the animalic raw material, the spice could heal something. In
mm,
the past, life was short, and the idea that you can cure with a good smell is a good
mm.
idea.
Why do you think though we went from, like in Eastern, in Asia, Eastern Asia, Asia in general, incense is used, much more than it is here in, the Western world. We both went, both side of the world went through, you know, times of not being very nice and smelly. How come they, in your opinion, they kept the practice of using incense so much in the daily life and we haven't?
Because in that country they have a lot more of the resin that produce incense from the ancient times.
Okay,
And incense, the different resin, when arrived in Europe, they were used more for a sacred purpose,
okay, okay.
spiritual.
Religious, yeah, it was
Yes.
religious.
But in Venice, for example, there was in the past a peculiar use of the incense. I don't know
Okay,
if you ever heard about cypress birds.
no,
Cypress
okay,
birds were little birds made of incense, like the statues, very
uh-huh,
little, that in the Venetian home were put over a big silver tray and
uh-huh.
burned during the day. So even the homes, the palace in Venice are scented with incense. Myrrh was one of the favorite resin used in
Oh,
Venice. Myrrh.
I didn't know that. Okay. So, and why did we stop doing it? Because that would be a great idea. It looks good
Yes,
as well.
but today we have the little incense stick,
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
expensive,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I study a lot about the history of perfume, is my passion. And
Uh-huh.
each time I discover something new, I think, why not today?
I know. You think, why have we lost certain things? I mean, I know, I realize it's fashion, is, vibes, mood, or whatever, but it is important. So, how did you actually start your journey into the world of perfume? Because, as you were saying, you're a makeup artist.
Yes,
And do you still work as a makeup artist?
yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
But,
but I would like dedicate myself only to perfume.
okay. Well, then, so,
It
okay, we're
could,
studying the world now. Joan is here. Okay, ready. So how did you get into perfume then?
Since I was a child, I I perceived the world like everyone has through my senses. By the
Mhm.
smell was my favorite one. For me, something magic. You can collect a lot of information only with your nose. Yes,
Mm.
you have
Yeah.
to have a good nose, but
Hmm.
it's possible to understand about other people, about home, about country. you received a lot of information. So I love a lot. I study by myself perfume composition, aromatherapy, and after I had the honor to study with the Italian nose Martino Cerida, and I saw the way I could become a perfumer.
Yeah.
So yes, I participate to some award for perfume. Some of these award I won. So I understood that I can do that.
So how long have you been a nose?
12 years, more or less.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
I don't like to describe myself like a nose because for me, only the big one are nose. We are
Okay, okay, okay. As a perfumer, okay. So,
Yeah.
do you actually travel looking for different smells and aromas, or not?
Today is very difficult. Sometimes we discover something natural, but today the new ingredient for perfumery are almost synthetic one.
Okay.
They are beautiful. Nothing bad, but I some more like abstract perfumery. So,
But do you travel trying to, I don't know, to a specific country because you say, oh, I want to go there because I want to learn about some new
last
smells.
month I've been in Marrakesh, in Morocco, for that.
Okay.
Yes, and it's very. And I visited a beautiful little museum of perfume, and
Uh-huh.
I learned something new about the way, you know, the way to use ingredient. Like you see, if you are a painter, you see another painter, the different way he can use colors. You know,
Yes.
for a
Yes, and
perfumer, it's
material
the same
and the
thing.
material of making colors as well, because you
Yes,
could use oil and stuff like that, whatever. Yeah.
yes.
And so how did you get into writing your book, which is a lovely little book? Tell everybody the name.
The Little Book of Makeup in Venice.
Okay, which I adore because it's cute, it's small, and it's full of little information about that a lot of people don't know. I think even Venetians didn't know when they read it. How did you get into writing the book?
Through my makeup job, because I saw that what I like in my makeup working to do period makeup movie. They are dream, the one that I like, because you can study the real and try to replicate the real makeup of the period. And
Which,
I'm
let's say, was very heavy.
yes, but not just the way we think.
Oh,
It's heavy, but maybe today the false eyelashes, false nails,
are just as bad.
extensions
They're just as
are not
bad.
so different.
Okay.
So, and during a documentary about Casanova for
Okay.
Germany TV,
Uh-huh.
I had to make a very precise research about how was really the toilet of a lady. And
Uh-huh.
I saw that you can find a lot of information, but not something interesting and simple. Uh, so
Okay.
I tell myself I have to write that.
Yeah, of course, of course, of course.
That can make everyone curious, not only people that love makeup, beauty, or Venice, but everyone can tell. Through beauty, you can tell a lot about history in
Uh-huh.
general. So,
Because it actually took a long time for a lady to get ready in the day if she
yes.
wanted to go, no,
But
even now, just to show herself, didn't?
yes, but you don't have to think is a lot of time too. That was her time. Her
Okay.
day was preparing herself.
Okay, that's
Know what
true.
I mean?
Yes.
Preparing herself, her image was what she has to do during the journey. We have
Okay.
to go to work, to go to the gym, to go to at the
Yes.
time they have to be beautiful.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, that was their job to look that
Yes, yes.
appearance, I
And,
suppose.
and could make the difference because if the society appreciate you like a very beautiful lady,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you can have a better future, you know.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that actually. Yeah, I was thinking more in, modern terms. So, but you're actually totally right on that.
Yes,
So,
because to be not free, but to have some freedom, you have to obtain the right marriage and the time. No?
yeah, okay. So, on that note, thinking about a lady who's got to obtain marriage, going back to historic Venice, what
Yes.
kind of perfume would she wear? What scent?
Depends
What
on the
notes?
situation. Uh, you know that in Venice there is a peculiar situation that a lot of men were merchants, so
Yes.
they were far away from
Mm.
home, and the wives they were at home alone in some way, so
Hmm.
they had more freedom.
Yeah,
And
not
that's
good,
the
not good.
history of Casanova and everything.
Mhm.
Because if you
That's
are
why he
alone,
wasn't a merchant. That's why he wasn't a merchant.
yes, that is a reality. And also, Venice was a port,
Mm.
and in a port, you had a lot of prostitution,
Yes.
and the courtesan
Yeah.
need to sell themselves, and to
Okay.
sell themselves, they use makeup, perfume, dress, everything, and they uh, start different fashion,
Mm.
different fashions about the appearance. And the lady wanted to be beautiful as them.
Ah,
And when the man is outside, you can try to copy. In
okay.
Spain, for example, was impossible to imagine in other country, even in Florence, the freedom of the dress, of the appearance
Yes.
of a Venetian lady.
Yeah, you see already when you go in Carezzonico or you go in Palazzo Mocenigo when you see all the different paintings of the Venetian ladies.
Yes.
Let's say they show
Pietro
themselves quite a lot.
Longhi, you.
Yeah, they show themselves a lot.
Yes, they show themselves a lot. They could, that was possible, and that the reason because we in Venice had a lot of different things in perfume, in makeup. The Moschetta is
Hmm.
the beauty spot, black spot on the face. Venice was the top of fashion. A
Hmm.
lady could make everything like that to expose her décolleté, for example.
So, how does the Merchant of Venice bring everything we just talked about, this heritage, this stronger perfume Venetian heritage, into the present with the fragrances that he makes today? Because they are very, first of all, there's a lot of fragrances because there's really a lot, but they're
Yes,
different. They're not your. I love them. I love the perfume from Merchant of Venice because they are different from the perfume that you usually can find, let's say, practically in
they are
every.
really different.
Yeah.
And that the idea, the purpose was of our common friend Marco Vidal, the chief
Mm-hmm.
of the Merchant of Venice. He wanted to combine modern perfumery
Mm-hmm.
in modern perfumery in the composition, the way you compose a perfume. Our perfume are made by very, very good, the best noses in the world now. So they are modern in the composition. But we want that the ingredient are really, really similar to the
Mm.
ingredient used by Venice in perfumery in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't find a lot of synthetic, a lot of white musk perfume. You find
Mm-hmm.
something more deep, more intense, with a lot of spices.
Mm.
For example, I don't know if you know our Vinegia 21. It's
Yes.
a perfume made for the anniversary
Yeah.
of Venice with very, very lot of spices, patchouli leaves, vanilla is very deep and strong, something that you smell and you can travel with your imagination in the past.
Yeah, and I found them also they're very fresh. I find that when I go, I told you that the first time we did a lesson together, but when I usually go into, the normal shops, whatever, I find perfume, they kind of smell the same to me. I mean, you go from one to another, basically they're all the same. When instead, when I start smelling the Merchant of Venice, I can honestly say, this I like, this I don't like, but they are different.
They are very different with different personality.
Exactly. And I found them very, very fresh as well, generally speaking,
yes,
as the
Rosa
perfume.
Moceniga,
Oh,
for
my
example,
favorite.
is our bestseller. Rosa Moceniga is a soliflor, a perfume all around rose. Around the Rosa Moceniga. Rosa Moceniga is a quality of rose originated from China that arrived in the 18th century in France, and the Empress Josephine Bonaparte cultivated it in her garden, Versailles. And Lucia Mocenigo, Venetian lady, was her friend, and she brought in her villa at Alvisopoli near Venice this kind of rose. And with Marco Vidal, we discovered another time the beautiful rose, and we are the only one to have this quality of rose in a perfume. So
okay, and you're actually growing nowadays. Where do you grow it, by the way?
Yes.
You're growing locally, of course, I assume.
Yes. No, not too much because it's very difficult to cultivate that, but we cultivate and we use the absolute in our Rosa Moceniga perfume.
Oh,
yes.
wow. Okay, now practical things. Number one, Merchant of Venice. We can find them, of course, at Libreria Studium, where you have also your perfume library, where you do your classes, that we'll talk about in a second. And then they got a few shops spread all over the city of Venice, and they got a website, which is www.merchantofvenice.com, I think. Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then we can find also Palazzo Mocenigo, right?
Yes, Palazzo Mocenigo, where you can find the perfume museum, is a collaboration of the Merchant of Venice. The result of the collaboration, it was another idea of Marco Vidal.
Yeah. And the room with all the ingredients is really one of the best things I think somebody ever did about perfume, because you can literally lift, smell, put it down. It's interactive. So I like that. Then you have classes at Libreria Studium upstairs in all languages. No, in how many languages, Joanne?
In
English?
Italian, in this my bad English. And
no, you're not bad. It's good. Okay.
And in French.
Okay. And how long does it last? How does it work? The class works?
So there are three kinds of workshop. The perfume composition laboratory, the most complete, is 2 hours. During these 2 hours, you smell more than 40 raw materials.
So, is that the one? That's the one I did the first time, yes?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I'll stop you there. Guys, you have got no idea. Probably one of the best ever classes I've done in my life, because Joanne gives you history. You get to smell all these, these beautiful ingredients. But then I love the end. You tell them what they do at the end, because that's the best part for me.
Yes, that's the best part for me, because in the first part, I tell you a lot of stories, I describe perfume, I ask questions, but meanwhile, I study you. Because in the second part, I create the formula for your personalized fragrance that for me have to be the olfactive portrait of you.
Yes.
So I have to feel you in a perfume. That is my most artistic moment in my day.
And I love that, because you have your own personalized perfume, just like Venetian ladies used to. Yeah. And then you had another 2 type of classes, yes?
Yes, another one is a love atelier. Is especially made for couple. Is 1 hour, because couple usually don't have a lot of time.
Because after they got the perfume, they want to go back to the hotel.
Yes. And that is not about the history, because in the laboratory, as you have done, the history is from ancient Egypt, today in the love is most of the idea to create two different fragrances, one for him or one for her, or depend on the couple, to one and one.
Yeah.
And they have to be complementary for me.
Okay.
So it's something that the couple have to reach together. They have to find a way to find in the perfume a complementary in the life,
Okay, I like that.
Also, they can say no to some ingredient for
Of
the
course.
other, for the partner.
Okay.
For example, you like patchouli, but maybe your partner
Doesn't.
like patchouli. So I will not put patchouli in your perfume.
Of course.
Because you have to smell each other. You know that we choose our partner with your nose,
Yes. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Yeah. And the first class?
Is for family. The third class is for family with a kid. I created a game with some cards. They have to create a story, decide the title of the story with the colors, with the characters, play. I don't usually I don't want to tell too much about the third one because it's a surprise.
Okay. But it's for children, so it's for a family with kids. If they want to, something that is very interesting because
4 years. I had one child of 3 years old, but he made his perfume, so it's possible.
Oh, I like this. This is really good because, families are always looking for activities to do with the children.
Yes.
So this is great. And then last, and they can do this by writing to you. Yes, so they can book it by sending you an email. Where?
What?
If they want to book any of these.
Yes, no, you have to go to the on internet, the Merchant of Venice experience. Is the site, and you have to fill a form. Arrive to me, and after you speak directly to me.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes. The workshop are not all day, even because I can't work with my nose every day.
Of course.
Only on appointment.
Yeah, on request. Yeah, absolutely. And then last but not least, your book. Where can we find your book? Of course, a Libreria Studium, we know. But...
And you can buy on internet by I don't know if I can say
let's say all over. You can find online. Okay.
Type the little book of makeup, in Italian, the piccolo libro del make-up, also in French, the petit livre de maquillage. You can find and you can order. And the impression I buy a very good friend of mine, and I can tell you we are working on a new book, but it's a secret.
Okay.
I don't have enough time.
I can't wait for you to do it, and then I can have you back on the show. Finally, after I totally gonna tell you now, stop telling me your English is not good because your English is perfect. Don't worry. I mean, you were so worried about this. I thought, gosh, she already canceled once.
Because I told you, when in presence, I know that a lot of red hair, a lot of hands. I move my body. I know that I can give the information I want. Only by words is hard.
Trust me, you've done a great job. Listen, if somebody wants to follow you, Joan, on social media, where can they find you?
On Instagram with my name, Joan Giacomin, you can find me.
Fantastic. Well, listen, girl, it was so nice talking to you. I can't wait until I come to do another class because I'm very happy because I got to say every time is you're such a well of information and of funny stories and of and you're so entertaining. I just adore we're gonna have to organize something together, me and you, because we need to do something to do with food and perfumes.
Yes, I would like, because I love food completely. I like to cook and love spicy. At home, I think I have more than 60 different spices.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, so, okay. The last one. What's your favorite ingredient for a perfume?
That is a very good question because I am a perfumer and
Mhm.
all the ingredients are my children, so I can't have a favorite one.
It's like when people ask me which is your favorite chiquetto, I go like,
Yes,
okay, I'm not gonna tell you. Or my
yes.
favorite osteria.
I
Okay,
know what is better for me, better for
okay,
another person, but
of course.
and that is in reality the most difficult part to be a perfumer
Mm.
because the smell is the sense that is more linked to your experience.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So
Oh, and I got another question for you. This is practical. So, should you have different kind of perfumes or should you have one?
it's up to you.
Ah,
For
okay.
me, perfume is has to be free as you
Okay.
want.
Ah.
Uh, Maybe in summer it's better fresher, no,
Mm.
something more fresh because of the temperature. The
Okay.
hot temperature, the base note, the resin, woody note, spices change too much. So that's
Mm.
the reason. But
Okay.
when you find your signature, maybe
Mm-hmm.
I prepare for me the scent for different occasion.
Well, of course. Thank
Naturally,
you. Thank
but
you so much. Okay.
but depends. Some people find comforting to have the same perfume all their life. Sometimes people come to me and they say, "It's a critical moment of my life. I want to
Mm,
find my new smell, not scent,
yeah.
really
Yeah.
my new smell." You
Yeah,
know,
I got to say so, but I know now I cannot have it anymore because last time you explained to me that I love Mughetto, and for years and years and years I loved Mughetto, which I don't know how to say in English. Mughetto, I can't think
Lily
of.
of the Valley.
Lily of the Valley. So I loved that smell, and I really love that kind of perfume, which I haven't found anymore. But now it's been years now I've been using Rosa Mocenigo for the simple reason that with my type of skin, which I know is weird, is the only one that when I put on, mm, people can still smell it, and I can still smell it because any other perfume, 5 minutes after, is
Because
gone.
different skin make
Mm.
different thing.
Yeah, you told me. Yeah, and
More
unfortunately,
natural ingredient, more that it happens, you know?
mm,
The synthetic one maybe something over your skin. The natural one make love with your skin. So depend on your skin, they change. During my workshop, I smell. That is very strange thing for people, but now I prefer to smell their skin before making the formula
I
because
know. I remember I came out and I was like going, Joan told me that I got very good skin smell.
you have a sweet skin, I think I remember. For me, the name is sweet.
Yeah,
So
I know. I remember you told
flower
me
are
those
the
things.
best for you.
I
Depends.
thought at least that. I thought, but okay, I cannot retain a perfume, but at least give me a decent skin.
It is the pH
Yes.
naturally, but
Yeah,
during
yeah.
my workshop, I can't see the pH of a person.
Of
But
course.
smelling is not only the pH because it's also if you have a cold or hot skin, wet,
Mm,
dry, that
yeah.
make something very strange. When sometimes always the perfume, the personalized fragrance, when the people first smell on the paper, the mouillette, they say, good. When they smell on the skin, they say, it's me. That is my success. When I'm
Yes.
happy when it's happened.
Yeah, yeah,
With
yeah.
the skin, the perfume change and became something that is more you.
Yes, it's true. It's true. Well, Joanna, can't wait to see you again soon. And guys, you need to go and book a perfume session with her because, as you can hear,
Have a
she's
look to my book
amazing. She's amazing.
and also have a look to my book.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, yeah, of course. That was implied that they got to buy the book. That's obvious. Okay, speak to you soon. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao. You can find Joan on Instagram at Joan Giacomin, and then you can find the Merchant of Venice on all social medias at The Merchant of Venice and on their website www.themerchantofvenice.com. Thank you again for listening. Venice Talks podcast is a production of Sentire Media, created, produced and hosted by me, Monica Cesarato. Follow Venice Talks wherever you get your podcast, and if you want to book a food tour or a cooking experience with me, you can find me over at www.monicacesarato.com and on all social medias with the handle @monicacesarato, where you can follow my adventures around Venice. And don't forget, if you love this episode, please rate it and leave a review. It's very much appreciated.